Hello, testing.
How have you been?
Good. How have you been?
Good.
Have you just joined, or have you been here for a while?
I do like 10 class passes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For this class and Alex's class.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. It looks like you had some nice vacationing in
Oh
nature.
my goodness, it was so lovely.
Where did you go?
My friend Karita lives in Northeast Kingdom, Vermont, like way up there. So she goes from June until September and then does winter up there, and I've been going to visit her for the past couple of years. But this time we broke up the trip and stayed in Hudson, New York, just so that it wasn't like an 8-hour drive. So it was 2 days in Hudson, 4 days in Vermont, and then stopped at Mass Mocha in North Adams. I haven't been there in years.
Yeah.
And things are always changing.
Yeah.
I
We
know.
were only there for like an evening and a morning, but stayed in this incredible, I think, new hotel resort situation. It's called, hi Seth, called Tourists. My eyebrow lady put me onto it, and it's
Who
like
did? Who turned you on?
the person who waxes my eyebrows once every 6 weeks. I was telling her, I was like, I'm going to Mass Mocha, and she's like, you gotta stay here. This is the only reason I go to town, and it did not disappoint. It was like it's 80 acres, and it's, the rooms are like, they're not fancy like a luxury hotel. They have everything you need, and there's a pool and like art sculptures and walking. It's just like, it feels so good, and I can't even imagine what fall there is like, because you're like in the mountain. Yeah, so it was like a nice, it feels like fall, coming back to here for summer, a little extended. It was perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hi.
I brought you some chili.
Thank you. Did you make it?
I even make it. It's mine, which was I like.
Yes.
But I said, you never make it smile again. So I'm getting
If it's mild, I'm just gonna be like,
yeah, you are.
this is actually perfect timing because I just ran out yesterday, so I was putting it on my corn thing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does he do this often?
Yes.
What do you put inside of it? Garlic?
It's got garlic, scallion, no, what are the little onions? Yeah, scallions. It usually has peanuts, but this one ended up with cashews.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yum.
Gochujang,
as I was driving here,
his recipe if you want.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a several hours process.
I will, and then having to pour it into the,
Well, he had in a big one, and I was like, can I take one to a niche?
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those things, that I've never made on my own, but I'm like, is this doable?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we'll use all of the props today. So two blocks, and there's some therapy balls, a strap, and I always say we do some stuff with the knees down, so if you like with a blanket, you can just grab one.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Good, very good. Oh. Hi. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Are they?
Now it is fall feeling out.
No, it is fun. I know, walking the dog today, I was like, what's happening? Are they doing like big water work all over this area? Do you don't live in this region, you live a little.
I live a little bit over there.
Yeah.
but They were always doing it somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like I can never tell where the batches of streets being ripped apart are. Every
Yeah.
time I come to the neighborhood, there's like another street.
Oh yeah, they were always doing something.
Okay.
I mean, the pipes are 200 years old
I
over
know.
here. So.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Like all this stuff happens in Queen Village first, like the 2-a-week trash, and then like the fancy city things, and then we get it like 5 years later in
Yeah,
West Philly. So
yeah.
I'm like, what's it looking like? Let me see. Okay.
Well, they had, I'm across from a school, so they had 12 piles of garbage piled up there when the kids arrived this morning.
This morning already?
And then they took it away, like, while I was coming over here, and they were over there taking the garbage.
Oh yeah. It is beginning. I feel like there used to be a school bus stop right in front of my house, and it hasn't been there for a couple of years, so I have no sense of when school starts anymore.
Yeah.
But usually you hear them, the Meredith kids,
Yeah.
during this class at
Yeah.
recess, like screaming outside, which I'm like, okay, we're back in season.
Yeah. Today's the day.
Mm. Hi y'all, we'll start. We have so much time, early birds. But while you're getting settled and comfortable, we'll use all of the props this afternoon. So a couple of blocks. We'll be doing some things with the knees down. So I always like to offer, if you'd like to grab a blanket, you can. And then I'd love to get some time to roll with the therapy balls and a strap, which are right here in the white baskets. You might hear me say that again and again as people start to come in, but glad you're here. Hi, how are you? Hello, how you doing? Good. Do you and Keyshawn coordinate when you come to class, or you come independently?
No, we come independently.
Oh, okay.
He definitely comes way more.
Hi, Sam. How you doing? Hi. Shallots, the tiny ones. Okay. I was gonna say, because I wouldn't think that shallots would sit well in oil for a long time, but they might. Okay. Oh, I can't wait to try it. Did you text for the recipe just now, or you just remembered? Okay. Hello. How are you?
Good. I did your classes last summer. I was just away.
I love it.
The day after, because
It happens. That's how it always goes. They're always there.
I
Did you go anywhere fun, or were you?
was in Spain all summer
Oh my goodness.
in a heat wave. It was no. It
Oh,
was,
that's right, with all the fires.
we weren't close to the fires, and I was in the same place all the time, but they had no air conditioning.
Yeah.
It's all good.
How does it feel to be back in HVAC?
I turned my house to like 60 degrees. I just stood there and I started to shiver. And then I was like, all right, apparently my body's adapted to something. But I literally walked in the house and my son comes in and said, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just being cold.
Let me.
I'm sleeping with 4 blankets tonight. I just want to say.
Oh, well, welcome back. Yes. Hi, how are you? Two, 4, 6. I know. I know. I was curly all couple weeks, and sometimes I just straighten it every once in a while to be like, what's happening in here? Yeah.
My niece did that though. She's like frizzy. And for the wedding, my grandson's
Yeah.
wedding, she straightened it. Long ones.
I know, the curls really hide. Okay. Hi, y'all. Welcome. There's another moment. We're waiting on a few more folks who will probably trickle in, but lots of space for everyone to come through. While you're getting comfortable and settled, we'll use all of the props this afternoon. There's some blocks here, 2 blocks. There's therapy balls in the white basket and a strap that we'll use. And I always like to offer, if you want a little extra cushioning for any of the stuff we do with the knees down on the floor, there's stacks of blankets here too. You can also easily bring stuff over to you as we get moving around. But Monday, it is upon us. Virgo season. Is today the first day? Does anyone know? What's that? Second or third. Okay, we're in it. Welcome. I'm not one, but I admire the Virgos in the room and that I'm surrounded with, because they really keep the ship running as the earth signs that we all love and know. Lots of new faces to me today, and if I didn't get a chance to come over and say hi, hello. My name is Anisha. Thank you for being here, and thanks for taking time to come to class. It's not fall, it's nowhere near fall, but back to school season is upon us. And so there's a whole host of workshops and events and activities starting in September. I'll share those after we start to get moving, or after class, but just to keep your eyes peeled, if you have time or interest outside of the public class schedule, there's guests that come in from out of town, workshops, series, and all sorts of good stuff to get even more soaked into the practice of yoga as we start to get moving. All right, so we're in a little bit of an interim phase as far as theming and mythology. Starting in September, October, November, December, really from now until the end of the year is a really auspicious time in the yogic and Hindu tradition, where it's a lot of holidays, mythology, and storytelling, but we still got August. So today, the plan is to get all of the major food groups of the body, meaning thighs, hips, upper back, shoulders, and all of the good stuff. But if there are any requests, or if anyone has any needs or particular body parts or poses that need some extra attention, very happy to weave them into class to where we're going today. Very good. I've said this to a few of you guys before, but sometimes the request is I just want to turn my brain off and be told what to do, which is what I'm here for. And you're more than welcome to do that. But seeing if there are at any point any needs or poses or places in which your body needs to move to, I really invite you to move in ways that feel supportive to you. And we'll see where we go. So together, let's begin actually lying on your back, if you wouldn't mind. If you're already on your back, if you would do a little spin, let's all have your heads to the front of the room, feet to the back of the room, and come to lay down in any way, shape, or form that you so choose. So you might be more in the traditional Shavasana shape with your arms and legs out long, taking up as much space as you so prefer. If you're feeling anything in your low back or in your hips this afternoon, you might bend your knees, bring your feet as wide as your mat, and let your legs rest into one another. This will clear space in the glutes and in the lowest part of your back to maybe give yourself some more room. But as you give yourself a moment or two to arrive, take any small shifts or adjustments in your clothes, in your hair, in the positioning of your body. Let yourself arrive here against the earth. And as you let your eyes either soften or close, can you begin to listen for your own breath? When you close your eyes, it's just a moment in time to see yourself more clearly than before. Hi, Natasha. Where each gentle and steady breath slowly dissolves the day and the morning that was. Each breath helps you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after creates a little more room for what has yet to come. So without the need to shift or change or alter your breath in any way, can you see where your breath prefers to be? For some of us, it stays higher up in the chest and more in the front of your body. And the more you notice your breath, can you see how it remembers you in return? Your next inhale might move from your nose down into your belly and up into your chest. And as you exhale through your nose or mouth, let some part of you get heavier into the earth. Take a few more of those three-dimensional breaths, breathing into the front, the back, and the sides of your waist. And with each exhale through your nose or parted lips, feel the parts of you touching the ground get just a drop heavier. This entire practice, it's first and foremost in reverence to the breath itself. The breath that surrounds us, that connects us and guides every single thing that you do. We'll begin our time here with each other with 3 more rounds of that breath. So wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely, and exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for even a moment. Take notice of any difference that might come when you listen for and really remember your own breath. And as you keep that attention inward as best as you can, start to blink your eyes open and begin to bend both knees as you bring your feet onto the floor if they're not already. With your feet heavy on the ground, your arms might stay on your belly, or if you have space, you might reach them off to the side like a big T. But let your feet come as wide as your mat as you take a big breath in through your nose. And on an exhale, drop your knees over to the right like windshield wipers on a car. Wait for your inhale to bring both knees back up through center. And on your exhale, let your knees drop over to the left. Twice more with your breath, more than my voice, seeing if you can move at tempo with your breath first. We'll be doing a few twists this afternoon, but starting here, heavy on the ground, moving slowly with your breath, Take the time to just notice any nuances, any subtleties in your own body and being. After you finish your few rounds and your knees drop over to the left and you come back through center, give your right knee a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest, and start to make some small circles with that right ankle, moving slowly clockwise and counterclockwise, seeing if you can spread the right toes as wide as you can spread them and point the toes and feeling the corners and arches of your feet. Now take a long breath in here. And as you exhale through your nose or mouth, begin to straighten your left leg long out in front of you, letting your left heel get heavier into the earth. A twist on your back as your left hand holds your outer right thigh. Start to move your right leg up and over to the left for Supta Padangustasana C, a twist on your back. Again, your right hand might rest on your belly or on your ribs. You might reach it off to the side like a big T. But can you allow for both of your shoulder blades to get heavier to the ground, especially the right one? And as you take a longer breath in and down, let it fill you up. Stay for your exhale, reach out through your left heel as you let the back of your head get heavier to the earth. On your next inhalation, slow and steady, draw the right leg back up through center, lower your right foot to the floor, and feel both feet on the ground as you take a moment to notice any shifts from side to side. Now with both of your knees bent, feet on the ground, slowly give your left leg a hug in towards your belly or chest. Start to make those big circles with that left ankle. See if you can trace a big counterclockwise circle with the toes, a clockwise circle. Spread the toes as wide as you can spread them and point the toes and feel the sole of the foot, the part of you that stays connected to the ground. And now as that left ankle returns, take a deep breath in through the nose. Even open your mouth to let it out as you straighten your right leg long in front of you. Keep your left knee bent, and as your right hand holds your left thigh, the same twist to the other side. Move the left leg up and over to the right. Think of this less of how low can your left leg get, but how much can both of your shoulder blades stay connected to the ground. And whether your left hand is on your belly or off to the side, take a longer breath in through your nose. Stay for the exhale and let the left shoulder blade connect to the ground. As you reach out through the right heel towards the back of the room, how long can you become in every direction? On your next inhalation, slowly draw the left leg back up through center. Give both of your legs a hug in towards your belly or your outer ribs. You might stay still, you might make small circles, moving your knees in one or the other direction. But feel your upper, your mid, and your low back connected to the ground as you take a long breath in and a deeper breath out. And now with care, lower your feet down onto the earth, reach your arms overhead, and roll over onto any side to slowly press your way up to tabletop facing the front of the room. We'll have your blocks framing out the front corners of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we start to move about. Feel free to bring a blanket underneath your knees if you'd like some extra padding. But in your table, do bring those hands as wide as your mat. Even let the pinkies graze the edges of your mat itself. With your knees underneath your hips, start to curl all 10 of your toes under to feel the arches of your feet. And now moving with your breath more than my voice, start to round and arch your spine, linking breath and movement together. We'll take 5 cycles of breath here as you move through your rounds of cat and cow. And I invite you to stay moving with that slow 1 breath per movement. Or you might stay in the rounded or arched shape for a few extra cycles of breath. You might even start to move more back and forth, your hips towards your heels or shoulders forward of the wrists. But see what it feels like to not just move your body in isolation, but how your breath and body can really harmonize together. As you find your next exhale, come back to table, find your neutral spine. And as you keep your hands and shoulders where they are, begin to walk your knees back a few inches behind your hips, With your toes curled under, take it up and back to downward facing dog with as much time and all the breaths you need to find your way there. From your down dog, can you just take a peek at those hands and see if anything shifted? Let them stay as wide as your mat. Press your fingerprints down into the floor. And as you push your palms down and forward, let your butt lift up and back to the wall behind you, taking a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. At the bottom of your breath, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. The blocks are right there. Your hands might come high onto blocks out in front of your feet, so the floor can rise to meet you where you are. You might widen your feet an inch or two or soften the knees to give your low back some extra room. But let your head be heavy here as you bow in towards yourself, taking a longer breath in and a deeper breath out, bowing towards your own self, your own sense of being. Now, after a few breaths, bring your hands up to your hips, stand down through your legs, and a slow inhale to come all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. With your feet right underneath your hips, wait for your inhale to reach your arms forward and up. And as you exhale, soften your knees, hinge from your hips to fold. On your inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your heart forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms, and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. We'll be here for a few breaths, so you might keep your knees lifted. You might lower them to the ground behind your hips, but see if you can walk your hands to come as wide as your mat. Give yourself space. And now, without moving your hands, can you hug your palms towards each other? Feel the forearms and biceps engage. Slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart as you take a slow breath in. And on your exhale, begin to bend your elbows to lower all the way down onto your belly. Keep those hands wide as you inhale, rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest up. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 deep breaths here on your own. This entire practice in reverence to the breath first. So regardless of how the body moves, whether it stays still, can you feel the fluency of your own breath as the cool air comes in through the nose and the warmth of your exhale pours itself out through your nose or parted lips? At the bottom of your breath, whenever it comes, begin to lift both heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, to your standing forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, grow long through the spine. And as you exhale, keep that length as you fold and bow in. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky, get a drop taller. And as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. One more time, follow your breath more than my voice. Inhale, the arms reach. As you exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Wait for the inhale to lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, step it back to plank pose. A long breath here in your plank. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. With those hands as wide as your mat, drink in your breath as you rise, Bhujangasana, cobra. And on your exhale to downward facing dog, table or puppy for 3 more breaths here on your own. See if you can slow down the beginning of your next breath in and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out before beginning the cycle again. Feel that slow, steady stream of your breath as it moves in and through you. And at the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften the knees, and come forward, feet towards your hands, back to Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Try to tone the belly to support your mid-back. And exhale to fold, bowing in. Use your own fists and measure those feet about 2 fists width apart. And with your toes pointing straight ahead, begin to bend your knees, sit your hips back, and slide your palms up to your thighs for this round of chair pose. Now, as you sit your butt back, let your knees guide open towards your second and third toes. Press into your legs to lift your chest away from the ground. Now this time, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Pull your thumbs back to touch your chest. Lift your chest into your thumbs. And as you exhale, we twist to the left. Bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee. So instead of hooking it all the way over, same elbow to same knee, and start to turn your chest and belly open to the left. Can you sway your butt to the right? Press your palms into each other to turn your heart to the left. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale and sit 1 inch lower towards the earth. Now inhale to unwind, come up halfway, and last side, left elbow to the inside of the left knee. Instead of hooking it over the right, see if you can come to same knee, same thigh to create more space in the back. Now turn your belly open to the right. Lean your butt to the left as you take a long breath in. Stay for the exhale and sit 1 inch lower down to the ground. On your inhale, unwind, straighten your legs, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge. And come high onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of that right foot. Now wiggle the left toes back another inch to get longer in your stance. As you take a breath, can you lift your chest, grow long through the spine? And on your exhale, begin to straighten your right leg as you fold and bow in, maybe coming higher on blocks as needed. Let's do that 2 more times. Big inhale through to lunge. Breathe into the chest. As you exhale, straighten the front knee and fold. 1 more time. Take a long breath in. Come through to your lunge. And as you exhale, begin to straighten the right knee and fold. And now pause here for a few breaths once those legs are straight. Can you lift your back left heel higher up off the ground? And as you push through your left foot, try to wrap your left hip to the front of the room. Tack your right hip to the back of the mat and see where that sensation travels in the back of your right leg. Now keeping those legs steady, take a breath, press into the blocks or the floor to come up halfway to lengthen. Keep your left hand connected, bring your right hand to your right hip crease. Wrap your right hip back, shrug your right shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to turn your chest open to the right for this version of revolved triangle. As the right butt cheek wraps back, lean back against yourself. Stay here, or maybe your right arm reaches to the sky for the last breath. Deepen the next breath in. Stay for the exhale as you slide the ears back to lean back against yourself. Good. Inhale to unwind. Lower your right hand, look forward, and step forward with all the hops you need for your left foot to meet your right. Inhale lengthens you halfway. Notice any shifts from side to side. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Let those feet be hip-width apart. And as your left foot stays forward, slide the right foot back to find your lunge. The higher you are up on fingertips or blocks, just the more space you might feel between your belly and your left thigh. And as you keep that, take a breath to lift your chest, grow longer through the spine. Wait for your exhale to straighten your front knee as you fold. 2 more times with your breath, more than my voice. Breathe in as you come through to your lunge. Wait for the exhale to straighten the front leg. 1 more on your own. Take a long breath from belly all the way up into the chest. And even open your mouth to let it out as you fold and bow in. Now pause here. Take a few breaths in your pyramid pose. Sometimes with the left foot forward, the hips want to spiral open to the right. So can you lift your back heel to help your right hip wrap forward so the left hip can tack back? You might feel it more in those left hamstrings. Now keeping that as you press into the ground, come up halfway to lengthen, reach your chest forward. Keep the right hand connected, bring your left hand to your left hip crease. And you can give yourself your own little assist here. Wrap the left hip back. Shrug your left shoulder up and back, and from the depths of your belly, turn to the left. Stay here with your hand on your hip. Maybe you reach the left arm up to the ceiling, but as the outer left hip wraps back, press the big toe side edge of your left foot down, and now lean back against yourself. A long breath in, and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. On your next inhale, begin to unwind. Lower your hands to your sticky mat and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels from side to side. Notice any shifts. And with those hands as wide as your mat, inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Slow breath in to rise, Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades towards each other. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale, the right leg lifts up and back. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. Begin to pivot your hands and feet over to the left to come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. And now here, triple check to see that all 10 of your toes are pointing straight ahead. Unlock the knees if they tend to lock out. And without moving your feet, can you hug your legs towards each other energetically? Feel the inner thighs engage. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Stay for your exhale. Maybe your elbows soften as you bow in towards yourself. But there's this constant pulsation. With each inhale, the legs and feet hug together. With each exhale, you keep that as you soften and fold in towards your own being. That's it. Keep that connection to your breath. And with your head heavy, start to turn your right knee and toes to find your lunge. Bring your hands to frame out your right foot. And you might heel toe your right foot a few inches over to the right. Wait for your breath in to come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms up to the sky. Now, similar like you did in pyramid, lift that back heel. Wrap your left hip forward and the right hip back. Now stretch up through the fingertips, look away from the floor as you take a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale and bend 1 more inch into your front knee. Let your hands come to your hips. Get springy off the back foot and take all of the leaps that you need to scoop your left thigh towards your chest. Stand down through your right leg, grow up and out through the crown of your head. And as both feet come back to the floor, start to bend your knees, sit way back into your chair. Lean into your left foot, lift your right heel, and for standing figure 4, cross your right ankle over the left thigh for that hip opener. Your hands can go anywhere to steady you. They might come high onto blocks out in front. They might stay on your hips. You might reach them up overhead, but offer it to your breath, a long breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Think but 1 inch heavier to the earth as you lift your heart away from the ground. Now inhale to come up to rise, lower your feet, feel gravity underneath you, and reach both of your arms up to the sky. Grab onto your left wrist, 1 inch taller, and up and over to the right for standing crescent. Your butt might sway off center over to the left, but as you tip over to the right, think ears back to lift your chin, and maybe slide the arms back in line with your ears. On your next inhale, return through center, reach up to touch the sky, and as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Plant those palms to the top of your mat, walk your feet all the way back to take it to downward facing dog. And a few more times together, let those hands come as wide as your mat. Inhale through to plank pose. Wait for the exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink that breath in for cobra. Think ribs back and hug the shoulder blades together. And exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. You might mentally locate your strap. We'll add a shoulder stretch for this side. So as you lift the left leg to the sky, step your left foot through or around to find your lunge. Perhaps you bring your strap with you as you pivot your hands and feet over to the right this time for your wide-legged forward fold on the second side. Here, I like to hold a strap between my hands because it gives my chest a lot of extra room, but you might interlace your fingers, but bring your hands to your low back with or without the strap, and start with your elbows very bent here to begin. Now, as you hug your shoulder blades together, start to reach your arms off of your butt towards the ceiling without letting the elbows lock out. Unlock the knees, unlock the elbows. And it's that pulsation again. Each breath, the legs and feet hug to center. Each exhale, try to tug your strap or fingers apart and kiss the shoulder blades together on your upper back. Take one more long breath in. Stay for the exhale. Can you even reach your chin away from your chest as if your heart could reach towards the floor? And now slowly release those hands back to your butt. Ditch your strap off to the side. Begin to turn your left knee and toes through to lunge. You might heel toe the left foot to the left. And on your inhale, wait for the breath to rise for high lunge on the second side. Find a point to gaze that steadies you and call yourself back to your breath. Wrap the right hip forward, the left hip back. And as you take a long breath in through your nose, stay for the exhale, bend one more inch into your front knee. Now your hands might stay overhead. You might bring them to your hips. Get springy off your right foot and all the hops you need to scoop the right thigh to your belly. Stand down through the floor to grow up and out through the top of your head. And as both feet touch back to the ground, bend your knees, sit back into your chair, lean into your right foot, lift your left heel, and for standing figure 4 on the second side, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Let your hands go anywhere that they steady you. But see if you can flex your left foot to support your left knee and ankle. And remember the breath, a deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, sit 1 inch lower to the earth as you lift your heart away from the ground. Now inhale to come all the way back up. Lower your feet to the floor, let gravity hold you. Take a big breath in to reach up and grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. Grow up and over to the, is that the second side? Other side. Second side. As you tip over to the left, let your butt sway to the right. And sometimes here what happens is the chin and chest move forward. Think ribs back, slide the ears back, and maybe bring your arms back in line with your ears as you take a long breath in and a deeper breath out. Now inhale to come back up through center, reach up to touch the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Plant those palms to the top of your mat, walk your feet all the way back for downward facing dog. And now from your down dog, inhale through to plank pose. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, reach your arms alongside of you and turn your palms down into the floor. You can rest on your chin or on your forehead for a moment, but feel your legs back in space. And now without moving them, can you press your feet down into the floor, feel the thighs lift, and hug the thighs towards each other. Now push your palms into the ground and hug your shoulder blades together. On your next inhale, begin to lift your head, lift your chest, lift your arms up off of the earth, and exhale to lift your legs up and away from the ground for Shalabhasana, locust pose. Try to soften or even close your eyes and let it be in reverence to your breath first. Each inhale, hug the inner thighs towards each other and think inseams of your pants towards the ceiling. Now hug the shoulder blades together and lift your palms 1 more inch, a deep breath in. And on your exhale, release as you lower down. You might make a pillow with your hands and rest on your forehead or on one side of your cheek. You might wiggle your hips from side to side. But can you, once again, return to your breath? A while ago, you started lying on your back, breathing into the parts of you that touch the ground. As you lay here on your belly, can you feel the parts of you against the floor and let your breath broaden into them? The more your belly fills, the more space your low back might experience. And with each exhale, get a drop heavier into the ground. To keep things even, if you're on a palm or on one side of your cheek, you might switch, but take 1 more 3-dimensional breath in through the nose and all the way out through your nose or mouth. That's it. After a few breaths here, bring your hands to either side of your chest, press up through to tabletop. You can sit back onto your heels, sip some water, take a breath or two, and see what it is that you need. The AC is on. It's always on. Can get colder, but remember, even if I don't suggest, take breaks, sip water, really pace yourself, for it's your time. Let's spend a few moments on the knees. So if you'd like a blanket for some extra padding, please feel free to find one. I also like to have blocks underneath my hands as we come in for the first of the thigh stretches. But make your way to tabletop with your hands on blocks or on the floor. and with your knees on your sticky mat or blanket. But as you come to table, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, come into your lizard lunge. Look down your body, and sometimes what happens is the left hip is right above the left knee. If that's the case, walk your left knee back a few inches so the thigh is more diagonal to the floor. Now walk your left hand all the way off to the left. Bring your right palm up onto your right thigh, and like we've been twisting before, start to turn your belly open to the right. Now here, begin to bend your left knee, lift your left toes up off of the ground. Stay here with your right hand on your thigh, or your right hand might reach around for the left foot, or a strap, or the leg of your pants for twisted monkey, the thigh stretch. But as you have a hold somewhere on the leg, can you look down at your belly and think bottom ribs back, like you're doing cat pose in the belly and spine. Now keep the belly and ribs moving back as you hug the shoulder blades together and slide the ears back so your head is in line with your heart. You can stay here the entire time breathing. Or you might look to the floor and walk your left hand forward of your left shoulder, with or without the block. You might lower down onto your left forearm, but take another long breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, think ribs back as you lean back against yourself, like your belly could turn open to the ceiling. Nice, y'all. Okay, slowly look to the earth. Let go of that back foot and step it back to tabletop. A few breaths here, maybe a few breaths in cat and cow, but can you call yourself back to the fullness of your breath first? And now that second side to try out. So from table with your hands on blocks or the floor, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Walk the right knee back, and as you press into the ground, lift your chest tall. Walk your right hand off to the right. This will give your chest a lot more room as your left palm comes to the top of your left thigh. And in slow motion, begin to bend your right knee to lift your right toes up, and begin to reach your left hand around for the top of your right foot. The higher your right hand is on a block, the more access you might feel to grab onto the foot to get the thigh stretch, which is what we're seeking. And now ribs back. Kiss the shoulder blades together as you lean back against yourself. Stay right where you are. You might look to the floor and walk your right hand forward of your right shoulder. Completely optional to lower your right forearm down onto a block or the ground, but offer it to the breath, a deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, slide the bottom ribs back as you lean back against yourself. Good, look to the floor with care. Release that back foot, plant your palms and take it back to tabletop. And from table, we'll meet in downward facing dog for a breath longer as your hips lift up and back to the wall behind. In your down dog, you might find stillness. You might pedal your heels from side to side. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But breath to heart, heart to mind, and mind to body. At the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, walk your feet to the middle of your mat, walk your hands to the middle of your mat to meet yourself somewhere in the middle. Now inhale to lengthen halfway, grow long through the spine, and exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky, get a drop taller than you've been, and as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. Okay, find your blocks, and as you stand in the middle of your mat, bring your blocks to their highest height, somewhere to the top of your mat itself. You may or may not use them, but having them there close. Now, once your blocks come up high, bring your hands to your hips and unlock your knees. Lean all of your weight into your right foot, lift your left heel, and draw your left knee in towards your chest as your hands come in front of your left shin. You can always tap your left toes down onto the block in front of you. But for the standing toe hold, unlock your right knee and see if you can send the top of your right thigh back, like you're sticking your butt out. As you send the top of your right thigh back, hug the shoulder blades together and lift your chest, look away from the ground. Now either keeping your left foot up or letting it tap to a block, like you did lying down. Let your right hand hold onto your left shin and bring your left palm to your low back. Shrug your left shoulder to the ear. Hug the left shoulder blade to your spine, and from your belly, start to turn to the left. You might keep your hand on your low back. You might reach it towards the back of the room, but think top of the right thigh back, the shoulder blades together as you slide your head back so your head is over your heart, breathing. Good. Inhale to unwind, lower your feet back to the floor, and come to touch the ground. That looked good. How'd it feel? Because we're doing it 2 more times. Yeah? Questions, thoughts, concerns, conundrums? There's oftentimes, for a long time, I always thought balance was kind of just like I wake up today and I'll be balancing on both feet, and that is the case for maybe 80% of my existence. But for these standing poses, there's one small little tip that might help create some more stability in the pose itself. And I saw a lot of you guys doing it, but just to over-exaggerate, what tends to happen is when you lift one leg, we're doing the other side in a moment, but when I lift one leg, I get excited about this one and try to bring it high up towards me. But when that happens, you might notice that this right thigh pulls forward. And again, I'm going to the extreme. No one was looking like this, but just to show you what might happen. When this thigh goes forward, everything starts to teeter over. So I want you to be less concerned about how high this leg is, but more about your standing leg. So you're sending the top of this thigh back, and your butt starts to work. Sitting bones root down. You'll feel your low belly engage. And then in theory, you can be here for a long time because the leg is situated, the glute is working to hold you upright. So think thigh back, sitting bones down. That might create a little more awareness into the standing leg. Let's see what it does on the second side. So come with both feet on the ground. Please unlock your knees. Lean all of your weight into your left foot. Lift your right heel, and with your hands, grab onto your right shin. Again, remember, this block is always there to help you feel that sense of stability underneath you. But forget about the right leg and what's happening with the left thigh. Send the top of your left thigh back like you're sticking your butt out. Your chest might even go slightly further forward. And now feel those sitting bones, those bony points at the bottom of your butt root down, and maybe the low belly lifts and lengthens. Stay here as you lift your gaze. And now for the standing twist, let your left hand hold your right thigh and bring your right palm to your low back. Shrug the right shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to turn to the right. Stay here or reach the right arm back, but think left thigh back, sitting bones down as you slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. Inhale to unwind, come back through center as you lower both feet to the ground. Okay, clear the blocks, feel your feet on the floor, and as you take a long breath in, a little rinse cycle, reach up to touch the sky. As you exhale, fold, bow in towards yourself. Walk your hands to the top of your mat, step your feet to the back of your mat to revisit downward facing dog. And now last time together, inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink in that breath for cobra. Think ribs back, kiss the shoulder blades together, and exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. We'll string a few things we've done together already. On your inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. And now, with or without blocks, pivot your hands and feet over to the left to return to your wide-legged forward fold. There should be enough room, but if you feel like when you come up halfway, there's going to be a butt very close to your head, stagger slightly. Some of you come forward and back, because do come up halfway. Push into your blocks or the floor to lift your chest up long. Now keep your right hand connected. Bring your left palm to your low back. Shrug the left shoulder to the ear. Wrap the left shoulder blade to your spine, and from the belly, start to turn to the back of the room. Your hand on your back can act as a little reference. Is your butt trying to swing with you? Unlock the knees. Lean your butt more to the front of the room. Turn your belly and chest to the back of the room. And now slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. Stay right here, or maybe reach the left arm up, but a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now inhale to unwind, lower your hands back to the earth. Maybe bring your blocks with you as you turn your left knee or right knee and toes to find your lunge. Bring your hands to frame out the foot. Heel toe the right foot over to the right, and a slow breath brings you up to rise for high lunge like we were before. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out as you bend into your front knee. Now with your hands on your hips, get springy and take all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. The left toes, remember, can always tap that block, but as your hands interlace in front of your left shin, just like we did, send the top of your right thigh back. Hug the shoulder blades together to lift your chest. Now with your right hand on your left shin, left palm to your low back or towards the back of the room, Padangustasana C revisited. Completely optional. Your right hand might hold your left calf, your ankle, or even the pinky side edge of the foot as you straighten your left leg towards the front of the room. But a full breath in through the nose. Stay for your exhale as you offer the breath out. And then inhale to unwind, come through center. Thread your left foot to lunge. Take a big breath in, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold and step it back to downward facing dog. Nice. Stay here. At any point, you can lower your knees. Your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. But 3 deep breaths at your pace. Slow down the next breath in and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out. And after your next few breaths, there's 0 rush. We got one more side to try out. On your inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Step your left foot through to find your lunge. Can bring your blocks with you as you pivot your hands and feet over to the right. For Prasarita Padottanasana, that wide-legged forward fold on the second side. Stagger as needed with your friends. And as you walk your hands forward, press into the blocks or floor to reach your chest long. Now keep the left hand rooted. Bring your right palm to your low back. How long can you get as you shrug your right shoulder to the ear, wrap the right shoulder blade to your spine, and from the depths of your belly, turn to the back of the room. Now, because every part of you is connected to something else, when you twist to the right, the hips want to sway. Try to lean your butt more to the front of the room. It's okay if you untwist a little. But as you keep that, let the belly, the ribs, and the chest turn to the back of your mat. And now slide the ears back. Maybe reach the right arm to the sky as you take a deeper breath in. One more exhale to offer it out. And then inhale to unwind, lower your right hand. Bring those blocks with you as needed as you turn your left knee and toes through to lunge. When you heel toe your left foot over to the left, it lets you be less on a tightrope. So when you come up to rise for high lunge, the ground underneath you might feel steady. A long breath in and down. And a deeper breath up and out as you bend into your front knee. Now get springy off that back foot, all the hops you need to scoop the right thigh to your chest and let those hands come in front of your right shin. Now remember, forget about the right leg. What's the left leg up to? Send the top of your left thigh back. Feel those sitting bones root down as you hug the shoulder blades together. Now keeping the left fingertips in front of the right shin, let your right palm come to your low back or towards the back of the room. You might look to the front of the room, you might look to the brick wall, but find a point to gaze that steadies you. And then completely optional for your left hand to grab the right calf, the ankle, or the pinky side edge of the foot as you straighten the leg to the front of the room. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. How tall can you become? On an inhale, begin to unwind, come back through center, thread the right toes back to lunge. Take a big breath in, reach up, touch the ceiling. And as you exhale, fold and step it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, your choice, stay right here. Let the knees lower down or let the breath take you through. that linking vinyasa, but slowing down each and every breath, in through the nose and out through your nose or mouth. After your next few breaths, anywhere you find yourself, we'll all meet with the knees down on the ground. Walk your knees to come as wide as your mat, your feet towards each other. And for Balasana, child's pose, let your butt get heavy to your heels. Let your head get heavy to a block or the floor or your stacked palms. But see if those knees can come slightly wider than your torso so your belly can nestle between your thighs. And with the weight of your head connected to something solid, the block, your palms, or the floor, slow down that breath. The beauty of this practice is it acts almost like a little laboratory where you get to move in poses that test your capacity for breath, that get you warmer, that move your body in different directions. But the aim is not to stay in that place of the shortness of breath, of the sweat, but seeing if you can return back to yourself. So as you take one more breath in, let it fill your belly into the chest and the back of your heart. Even open your mouth to let it out, and let the forehead get heavier into anything it's connected to. Now, after a few breaths, press up through to tabletop. And in a moment, you'll come to lie onto your back like you started, with your heads to the front, feet to the back, and have a couple of things close by. So have one of your blocks somewhere that you can reach it, and also have your therapy balls somewhere you can find those too, without having to get up to grab them. If anyone needs therapy balls or a block, feel free to lay down, get comfortable, and can happily bring some over to you. But as you come to lay down onto your back, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor, and let your hands rest onto your belly for a moment. Soften or close your eyes and return to your breath. Take a big breath into your palms, and even open your mouth to let it out, and feel the palms soften against your belly. This time, breathe into your belly and into the back of your chest. And open your mouth to let all of that breath out. Now, keeping that connection with your breath, with both knees bent, bring your feet hip width apart. So visualize 2 fists between your feet. Let your arms come long alongside of you. Press your palms into the floor and snuggle the shoulder blades towards each other. For a few rounds of breath in supported bridge, you'll press through your feet to lift your hips and slide that block to its lowest or second lowest height underneath your pelvis, underneath your butt. So think less of bringing the block in the curve of your low back, but more supporting the weight of your butt itself. And once you find a place that feels steady, your arms might stay where they are. They might rest on your belly or on your pelvis, but snuggle the shoulder blades towards one another. And gently press the back of your head down into the earth so there's some space between your chin and your chest for breath to come through. 4 deep breaths here on your own. Can you use your mind's eye to trace your breath as it moves from the nose, down into your belly, and up into the chest? And with each exhale, feel your hips get heavier onto the block. Feel the upper back get heavier into the earth. Slow down the next breath in and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out. Now, after a few breaths here, press through your feet to lift your hips and slide the block out from underneath your butt as you lower your butt all the way back down to the ground. Watch for those props to either side, but with your feet as wide as your mat. Drop your knees over to the right. Inhale to bring the knees back up through center. And a big exhale to drop your knees over to the left. Now, as you draw your knees back through center, locate those therapy balls. And this afternoon, I'll talk you through some rolling of the glutes that have spent a lot of time working for us as we've been standing. So you'll take the therapy balls out of their tote, grab onto one in each hand. And now here, as you lift your hips just enough, bring the therapy balls to the very top of your butt cheeks, to either side of your tailbone or either side of your sacrum. That's it. There's no wrong place for the therapy balls to go, just somewhere you can be curious about and breathe into. But once you find them to the top of your butt cheeks, keep your knees bent and let your arms come alongside of you as you take a big breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let that breath out. Now this time you'll start to sway your hips a few inches over to the right and let your knees move a few inches to the left. And then hips slowly to the left as your knees sway to the right. And on your own, continue the slow zigzag of your butt moving from one side to the other to feel the therapy balls slowly move along the upper fibers of your butt cheeks. The part of you that created so much support and stability in all of those standing poses. The more the hips swivel, the therapy balls, they do get wider. You can always bring them closer, but take another deep breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let all of that breath out. Now the next time your knees and feet return through center, use your hands and lower the therapy balls another inch or two, more to the middle of your butt cheeks, slightly lower than before. Start them pretty close together because eventually they'll get wider apart. But once you find this new space, let your arms get heavy, take a big breath in, and really open your mouth to let that breath out and see what softens and shifts. Now begin that swivel again. Sway your hips slowly to the right and your knees to the left. And the other direction, and notice how the therapy balls move along the middle of your butt from side to side. Over time, they'll start to get wider and wider apart. And eventually, they'll end up towards the outer seams and outer edges of your pants. Once you find them there, wider than when they first started, let them stay as you draw your hips and knees back through center. Now walk both of your feet over to the left side of your mat and drop just your right knee to the right so that right therapy ball finds its way into your outer right butt cheek. See if you can unclench what might have tightened, the fists, the right butt cheek, the jaw. And as you draw the right knee back up through center, walk your feet through center and all the way over to the right. A big breath in. And as you exhale, drop just your left knee to the left for the other side. Slow down that next breath in through the nose. And try to open your mouth to let all of that breath out. Now, as you draw your left knee back up through center, walk your feet through center, use your hands and pop the therapy balls out. Set them off to the side and let the weight of your butt drop back down onto the ground. Take a breath into what you don't ordinarily see, but you might more than clearly feel. And now the next place to meet is in your pose of rest, in Shavasana itself. So I invite you to take as much time as you need to find as comfortable a way to be as possible. You might use any of the props to help support you, a blanket underneath your knees to let your low back settle to the ground, a block over your pelvis or belly for that sense of heaviness. You might let your hair down or set your glasses off to the side, but see if those therapy balls can come all the way out, for if they stay for rest, sometimes they create more tension than softening. But as you find any way, shape, or form to be, know that you can shift or adjust or alter the shape that you're in to begin to drape your entire body onto the earth. And it's here for the next few moments. Can you let each round of breath that you take allow for your entire body to get heavier against the earth? For each breath dissolves the entire practice that was. Each breath helps you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after creates a little more room for what has yet to come. So as your breath lets your physical body become heavier into the floor, the heavier your body becomes, the more spacious and the lighter you might just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from one side to the other, heavy against its support. Or being mindful of any props or neighbors, you might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, reach your arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choice to coil into yourself. A breath or two here. And with the least amount of effort needed, press into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat facing the front of the room. With your eyes softly closed or softly opened, and you once again remember your own breath. Take a breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer the breath up and out through every direction of you. Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. You can place your hands to center anywhere that might feel for you. As you take a long breath in and a deeper breath out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside next to you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here and being together. Thank you. Drink water, stay warm or cool, take care of yourselves and each other. If there are any props or mats that you used from the studio or your own, there's some wipes here to give things a little swipe with. But otherwise, happy summer. I'll see you soon. The few announcements while you guys are de-setting up that I have are, for the past couple of years, Three Queens has been teaching free yoga classes at the Art Museum Sculpture Garden. We'll start those again in September. They're Saturday mornings from 9 to 10. They're very beginner friendly. It's BYO mat. No, we're practicing on concrete with your sticky mat, but the views are exquisite. And you get a free ticket to the art museum that you can use at any time. And then starting September, the second week of September, Adriana and I are beginning our round of immersion, 50-hour immersion, where each weekend, it's one weekend a month from September, October, November, December, where we do a little deep dive into the history, the philosophy, the mythology of the roots of this practice that some of you may have heard me talk about in class, but 60 minutes is just, it's so long, but it's also never enough. So if you've been curious and have any questions, happy to chat about it. I think that's it. That's all I have. Anyone else have announcements? Things that you are seeing or doing or going to? They never have to be related to yoga.
September 12th.
Yes.
We're kayaking up the Delaware River.
Oh,
From Camden to Pleasant Hill with my religion Riverways. It's pretty much all levels, so let me know if you're interested. And
thanks. This is Steph. Steph also teaches yoga among many other hats. But kayaking in the fall sounds so nice.
Yeah.
And guided kayaking.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, until next time. I'll see you soon. Thank you.